Whoa boy, it is that time of year again. It is officially time to start predicting things to happen with Nintendo. And of course, it's hard to predict anything when there's no concrete date because Nintendo is just unbelievable. But I am done trying to predict this date. Some people were saying this Wednesday was like the perfect day based off of embargoes from a game and stuff, and now some people are even saying that it's 100% going to happen the 29th, which is the last Wednesday of the month, the very end of June, because that's when like the investor meeting for Nintendo is. I don't know, there's a lot of stuff going on this month, but you know what? I think it is going to happen this month just sometime, but I'm not going to even try to predict it. Instead, I just want to talk about what's going to be in this actual thing. In order to break this down, I'm trying to predict this thing to like the absolute T and what we could actually see from Nintendo. This is not really a video talking about, crazy wants or anything like this. This is a video talking about how realistic this Nintendo Direct can be. And of course, I'm going to break them off in categories and talk about games that we know of, DLC/updates, new announcements that we could get, and even surprise future announcements. First, I want to talk about things we know of, and starting off this category is Fire Emblem 3 Hopes. Fire Emblem 3 Hopes is coming out very soon, and whether or not this Direct is soon or later in June, I think still, regardless, we're going to have talk about this game, whether it comes out or not. I don't know. They're going to want to promote it regardless, and I think we're going to get at least a minute to a minute 30 seconds talking about this game. That sounds about correct. Same exact thing is going to happen with Xenoblade. I know there's been lots of Twitter drops and information and all kinds of trailers for Xenoblade 3, but Nintendo still likes to promote it. At the end of the day, these directs are to promote games that are coming out as well in order to get people's attention, and during these big events, all eyes are on these games. So Xenoblade 3 is going to get touched on. I think it's also going to be about a minute and a half of just quick coverage of what this game is about and, some more story details, a new trailer, and then that's about it. We will then probably reach our deep dive of Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Now, the first year we had Mario Rabbids was in 2017, and this was actually announced at E3 and released, I believe, in August, just a couple of months later. They can definitely do the same thing here. This game was actually announced last year around the E3 time, and we haven't heard anything of it since. So if they do show this game off, which I highly do think they will, it is going to be a pretty deep dive, showing off the new battle system that they've included, some characters, enemies, the stages that you'll be exploring, the main kind of story and lore of this, game, everything surrounding this game. I'm going to say this is going to probably be one of their bigger dives and around 4 minutes long. I think they're going to really go into depth here. I'm also saying Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope is going to come out along the August time frame, so that kind of adds up to what they did, years before in 2017. A lot of people are thinking that Bayonetta 3 is going to get delayed. I actually don't think so. It has had a weird development cycle, and it's just weird how the information is coming out, but they keep saying how they're pretty much, moving along very smoothly, so I don't know. I feel like things are going really well. We're just not getting a lot of information yet. I think Bayonetta 3 is going to get kind of a blowout here, very similar to Mario Rabbids. I think it's going to be about a 4-minute long kind of discussion trailer showing off the game some more. And I think it is going to release within that October/November window. I'm going November because right now for November we just have the Pokemon games, which are big, but Nintendo likes to have one of their own games as well. So I think that would be a pretty good time slot to have it in the beginning of November with Pokemon at the end. And of course, that segues us straight into Pokemon, Scarlet and Violet. I do think it's going to be here, actually. I know a lot of the time Pokemon Company has its own thing. They did have their own trailer they just released just a couple of weeks ago. They could have another Presents coming, I don't know. But there are definitely cases and scenarios where we do see these Pokemon games appear in directs now. It's just kind of been happening in recent years. I think it could happen here, and I'm going to give them the benefit of doubt. We could get a pretty sizable chunk here. I'm going to say around 3 minutes. Since this is a new gen as well, this is a pretty big game coming. This is a mainline Pokemon game that Nintendo's gonna probably want to cover themselves as well. Like I said, I'm going about 3 minutes here. Splatoon 3 is coming out in September, and we really still don't know much about this game. Even though they showed what seems to be a sizable chunk, it still just looks very bland to me. Hopefully they add some really cool things into some big things they need to show off, but they showed off the basic 4v4 battling, they showed off the new Salmon Run mode, they showed off a lot of like the hub world and stuff. Of course there's going to be some smaller things that we need to know, like the idols and some extra game modes, but one thing we really haven't gotten a lot of information on is the campaign. So I think this show is going to show off the campaign, and I think they're going to reveal like pretty much everything else later in a direct focused for Splatoon 3 before the game actually comes out. But yeah, they're going to have a big emphasis, I think, on the campaign, showing off what we're going to be doing this time, who we're fighting, kind of glimpses of the, main villain this time around, and like what the heck is going on with the mammalians. I think that's what's going to be the big showing here. It's probably going to be only about a 1.5 to 2 minute trailer showing off the story mode, and that's probably all the information Splatoon wise that we'll get. Advanced Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp. This was supposed to come out earlier, but due to the rising war conflicts with Ukraine. Obviously, they had to kind of push this back. We don't know how much longer they're going to keep pushing it back. I don't know what in Nintendo's eyes is a good point to release this game. It's hard to say, but I think it might be soon, actually. I think, you know, after a long time, they could just drop this game very soon. When will this game drop? That's a great question. I'm thinking maybe August would be a good time frame with this and Mario Rabbids. That would make a lot of sense, but I do think we'll see this pop up here again. They'll probably have a very short trailer. I'm saying like 30 seconds to a minute trailer showing off this game again, and then we'll be good to go. So yes, Advance Wars, I'm saying coming in August, about a minute trailer. And I'm throwing this last thing in things that we know of, or at least things that we know are going to happen. We're going to get a lot of scissor reels of stuff that we just don't care about, and I hate to just say extra filler because some of this stuff could be very interesting third-party games, so really just any filler / third-party games is going to be in this category, just games that the majority of Nintendo fans aren't going to really dwindle over and care about. We're going to get about 15 minutes of this. You know, it's Nintendo Directs. This is kind of expected. I know that sounds like a lot, but if you really break down all the past Directs and look at the filler games, the third-party games, the indie games, the smaller titles that many people just glossed over, it's about 15 minutes, maybe even longer, sometimes even like closer to 20 minutes. So yeah, this is something to definitely keep in mind. It's just kind of unfortunate that Nintendo floods these things with so many of their like non-Nintendo games. I don't know, like for instance, we don't want to see MLB The Show for like 5 minutes like we did last time. It was just annoying. Which also doesn't mean we can't have some cool third-party surprises here. I mean, we got Klonoa, and I'm not sure if any of you guys really care, but I used to love Klonoa, so I was pretty interested in seeing that remaster coming. I can't wait for that to come out, whenever that comes out. But yeah, the show is sure to be full of all kinds of little mini surprises and bigger ones as well. So now we're about 32 minutes into this show, and normal Nintendo Directs around 45 minutes, so that's everything that we already know and all the information regarding that. There might be something I'm missing, but for the most part, that's the stuff that we know. Now it's time for some extra stuff. What about DLC / updates? Well, there's 3 different games I have on this list for this category. The first one is Mario Strikers. Now I know Mario Strikers literally just came out, but by the time this actually happens, this Direct at least, it will probably be about a week to 2 weeks later, which could give us an emphasis on what's coming next, because the game launched with pretty much some bare bones content. Currently, right now, you only have like 5 different fields to choose from and like a handful of characters, so maybe they give us a kind of view as to what's coming in a future wave or update with some new characters and also some new fields. I think it was already leaked or rumored that Shy Guy was coming and so was Daisy, so maybe they show them off, but whatever they show off is probably only going to be about a minute. That's what they did with Mario Golf Super Rush, just showed a quick little glimpse of like New Donk City and some new characters coming, and then it was over. A lot of people think Switch Sports is like a 100% given thing that we're going to see, and I don't necessarily agree with that just because, you know, we know that there is an update for golf coming in the fall, but we're not even near the fall yet. We're just now getting ready to start the summer, so I'm not really sure why they would even talk about that right now or any other future updates unless they want to like make a roadmap for us or something. But I said, okay, if they do talk about Switch Sports, I do see them going a little bit longer than Mario Strikers. I say about 2 minutes showing off golf, what you can do with golf, maybe some extra mini games and stuff for the already, you know, games that we have. But maybe they also go in depth with, like I said, about future stuff ahead of time. Show us what's coming for the winter, and maybe an update for, you know, January of next year, or maybe, you know, just a whole roadmap, like I said, of the whole year next year. I don't know, but I'm going to say about 2 minutes of content, if it even shows up here. But of course, the DLC / update that we are 100% going to see is the next wave for the Mario Kart Booster Pass. We're definitely getting wave 2 here, and I think it's going to be an incredibly short trailer. We already got the trailer kind of showcasing what this wave and pack even was going to be. Now we know all they got to do is show off the tracks. I'm saying a minute 30 seconds top. Like, I don't think they're going to really spend a lot of time here just showing these off real quick. They might even shadow drop these. Still, I know Nintendo, I don't know. If this Direct is at the end of the month, I could definitely see a shadow drop, but I'm going to say these tracks probably don't come out until around the 1st or 2nd week of July. That's kind of where I'm thinking they're going to do. We're going to have to wait a little while longer until we can jump on these tracks. But yeah, I'm super excited to see these and see what they're going to be, but they're definitely going to appear here with about a minute and 30-second trailer. The next category I want to jump into is new announcements that could give us new games this year. And I don't have many. I think a lot of this year is already slated out with Pokemon, and obviously you have Splatoon 3, Bayonetta 3, Mario Rabbids. There's so many things still coming out this year, so I really don't think Nintendo has a lot left. But within this category alone, I think there's 2 separate ways that Nintendo can go here. I think whichever way it goes, this game is going going to be the big October game. But first, I think it could be Wind Waker or Twilight Princess HD coming to Switch. We know that there's no Zelda game this year now because Breath of the Wild 2 was delayed to next year, and we know how the Zelda team likes to have a new Zelda game or some type of Zelda game every single year for us to play, and they've really been doing that for pretty much every year I can think back to, so there's a pretty good chance we'll get some type of Zelda game still, and I think these two ports slash remasters, whatever, the ports from the Wii U, would work perfectly. They could also go the Metroid Prime Trilogy route and just give us the 3 games that were on the Wii, just with, you know, looking a little better, of course, now that we have an HD system. That would be really cool, another Metroid game for October, just like last year with Dread, or the rumors of just Metroid Prime 1 completely remastered. That would be really cool, and I guess fans could be excited for eventually getting 2 and 3 remastered as well if 1 sells really well, and that would be a really fun game to play for the holiday. I think that would also get us kind of excited and ready for Metroid Prime 4, even though they probably won't have any information on that game. At least we can get Prime in some capacity. So honestly, I can't say if this is going to be Zelda's time or, you know, Metroid time, I don't know, but I think there's a good chance that we could see one of these remakes slash remasters, and whatever game they choose to go with, I can see this being for about 2 minutes to 30 seconds of a trailer, kind of just going over what's new about the game, what they've changed, and what the new controls are going to be like. Well, what are the odds that Nintendo could just give us a brand new game, one more last big hurrah for the year? Very, very small, I think, but it could happen, and I think the only possible game that would fit this right now would be Donkey Kong. There has been rumors like crazy of a brand new Donkey Kong, whether it's Country or a 3D Donkey Kong. We still are not quite sure yet, because there's rumors that the Odyssey team are working on it, which to me sounds like a 3D Donkey Kong, but the same rumors were coming in about Kirby being 3D, and that happened, and obviously the Mario 3D All-Stars, that happened. There was so many of these games. I think everything that was rumored happened. Metroid Dread. So everything besides the Metroid Prime Trilogy, I'll say that. But everything else has happened so far, so this could be Donkey Kong's time. I would love to see a big 3D brand new Donkey Kong game and just revealed already and released just in a couple months for October. That would be really cool, the big October game. I think that would work perfectly with everything else. With Splatoon right before and Pokemon right after it, it sits in a perfect time slot. Seriously, I really have never seen such a perfect game to be announced than Donkey Kong right now. Please, Nintendo, let this be the big game. This could be the thing that starts the show or ends the show, but I'm very excited to see if this could actually come to the light. Finally, I've already think they've done everything they could with 2D Donkey Kong with Tropical Freeze being probably one of my favorite games of all time, and probably one of the best 2D platformers of all time. Yeah, I said it. So hopefully they go 3D in this new direction. But I'm going out and saying that if this is a new game, they're going to treat it kind of like they did with Kirby and the Forgotten Land. We're going to get about 3 minutes to 30-second trailer. We're going to have about a minute trailer followed up by some information about the game, and then obviously, you know, more information later on this year. So yes, I'm saying 3 minutes, 30-second trailer, Donkey Kong 3D game coming out in October. Now, the only reason I haven't added any time to the top right yet is because I only think one of these are going to happen. It's either going to be a port slash remaster or a new game coming in October. One thing is going to happen for October, so I'm going to pick the longer one, which is the Donkey Kong game at 3:30, and add 3 minutes and 30 seconds to whatever this reveal is going to be. So that now takes us to the 40-minute mark, but there's one thing that we're missing. Big surprises and big games that could be announced for next year, and I have 3 on the list. Now, I don't know if any of these are going to happen or if any of these even have a chance, but it's E3 Direct season, and yes, E3 with quotation marks, so we could see some big things. We know Nintendo loves to announce some games far off into the future to get us hype and get us excited for the year that follows. So what is the first thing we got to talk about here? Of course, it's the plumber, Mario. It's been about 5 years since Mario Odyssey and almost a year and a half since Bowser's Fury, which was a small additional mode for Mario 3D World. So we are extremely due for the next Mario game, and I really do think it's coming next year with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, kind of repeating what 2017 did with Mario at the end of the year and Zelda at the beginning. So it's almost time to reveal this thing. Now, I definitely do think there is a chance that Nintendo could just save this for the Spring Direct. I think without a doubt we see this game at least this year, but I think Nintendo might have a chance of just saving it a little longer, just waiting a little while longer before they even announce this thing. but there is a chance that we could see it at this upcoming Summer Direct, and I think it would be so cool just to get one of those grand Mario trailers we always get. Mario trailers never let us down. They always make us excited to see what's coming, and if I have to go even further, I think this Mario game is going to be different. I don't think we're getting Odyssey 2, which kind of sucks because I would have loved to see Odyssey 2, but even if we do get an Odyssey 2, I think it's going to look completely different than the first game, because I think with what they did with Bowser's Fury was kind of a test of waters, a more open style of Mario where Mario could explore pretty much any island that he wants once he unlocks them. I think this was a test to, you know, kind of initially give us a new Mario game, a new style of Mario, which I'm very excited to see what that's going to be like. And plus, it's been 5 years. I know Breath of the Wild 2 has been taking pretty much the same amount of time to give us a sequel, and I would just think Mario would be a lot easier with those assets already made. But who knows? I'm thinking we're going to get a new Mario game. It could be announced at the beginning/end of the show and probably coming late next year. This could be a potential, not extremely likely, but we are in that time frame again to be expecting a new Mario. Goodness gracious, I hate doing this one every single year, but yes, I gotta at least bring it up. There could be a chance we get something Pikmin related. Maybe we get Pikmin 4 announced for the future. At this point, I wouldn't even care if they just Metroid Prime forward us and just said, there's a Pikmin 4, it's coming, here's the logo, it's coming in the future, and just say like 2023 or 2024 even. Please, just something. Give us some hope, Pikmin fans. Yes, thankfully we got Pikmin 3 on the Switch, but man, it's time for the 4th one. We only had 3 games in this franchise. I need to see something else. Please give us a new Pikmin game. I really think whatever they're doing with this game, maybe it restarted development, maybe it's just an extremely massive game that they want to make because it makes sense for a Pikmin game. If anything's going to go open world in a giant adventure, it's going to be Pikmin. On that giant planet, looking at all the wildlife and stuff with all your Pikmin, I think they could be working on something monumental, and I hope that's the case. I hope it's not just a very bland, you know, Pikmin 4 sequel. So we're gonna have to wait and see. I don't think this is likely at all, but this could be a new announcement for sure. And last but not least, I don't care. Look, I know this isn't a new game. This should have been in the category of things that we know of. But, I mean, seriously, at this point, we still don't know what this game is. We still don't even know of this game. We don't have a title, we don't have any information, and every time I gotta show or talk about this game, it's the same 30-second gameplay snippet that I have, and it's not even that. It's only like 20 to 25-second gameplay snippet, and it doesn't really give us any clue what the heck is going on in this game. It's time for a blowout, and literally a blowout of this game, to me, would be just as big as a surprise reveal or the next big game coming out in the future. Hopefully we get something Breath of the Wild 2. They might very well just wait, or maybe they go a little bit in depth about this game this year. Who knows? But we need to see something. I want to see a title, maybe even a release window at least, just say like March of 2023, and just some information surrounding this game. It's time to blow this game out. If they show it, they've got to show it for once and give us, you know, everything that we will need to see what this game is going to be about this time around. And that, yes, includes the title, because I'm tired of talking about Breath of the Wild 2. But whichever game they choose, or if they choose another type of game, whatever it's going to be, the big reveal, it's probably going to be about 1 minute and 30 seconds of a trailer ending the show or starting the show. This clocks us in at 41 minutes and 30 seconds. Now, normally Nintendo Directs around 45 minutes. I think last year's was like 35, 37. So this is around the same time frame. Of course, you can add or take some minutes with different things depending on the different, you know, levels that they want to show. For instance, they might want to show a lot more for Breath of the Wild 2 or Splatoon 3, or maybe more information on, you know, future titles or something like that, or maybe just more filler titles. But this is about the time frame I think we'll be sitting at. For a quick recap, yeah, pun is intended, I decided to just go over quickly what we're going to see, so pretty much just a little bit of information on everything that we know is coming so far, maybe one new game for this year, one big surprise announcement for next year, and that's really pretty much what we can expect from this Direct. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about this list. Would you add or take anything away? I am going to make another video showing what the ultimate Direct would be like, but this was more of a realistic, grounded version of what we could probably expect from Nintendo. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me know what you guys think, and just comment your biggest wish for this Nintendo Direct, and maybe I'll make a video for you guys as well. But thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's video, leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things Nintendo and the upcoming Nintendo Direct, and I will see you all on the next one. See you guys.